Am I the asshole for ruining a kid's Christmas over a PS5? Hi all. So the other day I, 30 male, got lucky and managed to get hold of a PS5, which are like gold dust in the UK at the moment. The console finally arrived the other day, and was left with my neighbor. I knocked on the door, thanked them for taking the parcel and exchanged some pleasantries. When she casually asked if it was anything nice, I told her it was a PS5. We had the usual small talk and I went back inside, thinking nothing of it. Later we had a knock on the door from her husband. He said that his wife had mentioned I'd gotten a PS5 and they wanted one for their 7-year son. It was all his son wanted this year, and it's been a tough year for him as he's not been able to see his friends much. So would I consider selling it to them for what I bought it for? I said I understood, but I really didn't want to sell it as I was looking forward to playing it. That's when things got a bit weird. He huffed a little and said Christmas should be about kids. And I should really consider how hard it's been for them and offered me an extra £50. I said I wouldn't be selling it for any price. He left, but said he hoped I'd reconsider as, "You and I are a bit old for video games anyway," and walked off. End of story, I thought. The next day, he comes over again, this time with his son. He said his son really wanted to see the PS5 he had heard about. The boy then said to me that's what he really wanted for Christmas and hoped Santa would get him one. I replied that hopefully he would, but it's really busy for him this year so he might have to wait a little longer for it. But if not, I'm sure he'd get something nice instead. Another day passes, and my fiancé said they had posted something weird on social about how they had thought 2020 would have made people less selfish and more giving. But they were disappointed in their neighborhood which had forgotten community spirit. My fiancé asked if I should sell them the console, just to keep the peace. Later in the day, they came around again, to tell me that I had promised their son he'd be getting a PS5 for Christmas, and now it would be ruined if he didn't get one. She said that I am an adult, and should be thinking of kids at Christmas, not acting like one playing video games, and that I was being unbelievably selfish and cruel. He added that he didn't know how we could enjoy Christmas knowing we were horrible people that had ruined a 7-year-old's Christmas. I've also heard from some people on the street that they've been talking shit about us to people, though most neighbors are just staying out of it. My fiancé just wants to keep the peace. My parents think I should give it to the kid and my friends are split. Am I the asshole for keeping it? And now for some comments. Not the asshole. It was fine for your neighbor to take a chance and ask you the first time. I still find it weird though, but it's highly inappropriate that he has continued to badger you after you had already said no. Don't give up your PS5, man. This will be a good lesson for the kid and the parents. You can't always get what you want, even if you try to bully folks into it. Not the asshole. They are being extremely entitled and rude. It was low of them to bring their son over and inappropriate of them to tell him he was getting one for Christmas, when they don't have one and it is hard to find. There is nothing wrong with adults playing video games and I would not give in to their demands. I suspect it is him who actually wants it more than the son and that is why he keeps going on about it. Don't do it at this point, because you don't want to validate that what they're doing is by any means okay. Next time they come to the door, lay this out for them calmly. You bought an item, and you now own that item, and you are keeping the item. There is nothing selfish about keeping something that belongs to you. Your ordering one and owning one did not affect their ability to get their own. You did not take this from them. And you keeping it does not prevent them from getting one. Their opinion on Christmas or video games or anything else does not change the fact that it is yours. You want it, that's why you got it. Op should reply on social media. This Christmas some people in he neighborhood have forgotten community spirit and began to harass their neighbors to force them to give up their stuff. Imagine. Thank goodness you and I aren't like that, because really it could become a police issue. Yikes.